Hazel was diagnosed in August of 2020, the year of COVID. We were outside swimming, and she wanted to wrap up in a blanket and lay on our sidewalk and fall asleep. And I remember calling my husband saying, "Something's not right with Hazel. I think we need to bring her to the doctor." Luckily, we were able to get in the following day to get some full blood work done. And then within 6 hours, we were getting a call from her pediatrician to bring her into St. Vincent's Hospital. My husband got the call from our pediatrician, and I remember he was on the phone, and I walked into Hazel's room, and he had it on speakerphone, and the only word I heard was cancer.
Probably the lowest point of our lives when you get that phone call from St. Vincent's. It was Dr. Brandt, and he said, "We need you to pack your stuff up and bring Hazel and come down to the pediatric cancer center." Diagnosis was leukemia.
And never in a million years would I have thought that that's what it was or could have been. It made me instantly sick to my stomach, not knowing what to do.
It's the first time in my life I felt like I couldn't protect my daughter.
It made me feel scared inside. Like I was scared to go to the hospital because I don't really like getting pokes that much.
There's a lot that the siblings go through as well. And I think Hazel really kind of thought about her siblings as well when she picked what her wish was, because we wanted to enjoy something all together, just to kind of stop thinking about cancer and the treatments and the doctor's appointments. And that's what we really got to do when we went to Florida.
Because I just want them to feel happy inside too, because I will. And then I don't want them to feel really sad.
Every single day we were there, they treated us like royalty. We never had to wait in line. It was just truly amazing how they make you feel so special when you go on these trips.
To the people that donate, I would say, God bless you. Thank you. What you're doing is incredible. It's a gift. It's a gift that lives on through memories, and it's a gift that takes people away from a tragic, severe amount of pain.
Thank you, Make-A-Wish.
My daughter, Nora, was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia May 22nd, 2019. She was a couple of months short of her 5th birthday.
My initial reaction, I would say, was disbelief. I guess thought we were being lied to. It's just one of those things you never ever think it's going to happen to you.
The first 2 days were grueling for her. By that point, she was in so much pain. It was just everywhere. And, it was hooking my daughter up to a morphine pump just so she could stop screaming, just to give her a few minutes of relief. I never thought I'd be pushing that button for her. It was a total of 2.5 years. My daughter's alive because of chemo. I never thought I would wish that her numbers were good so we could pump toxins into my kid. But that's what we needed to do to keep her alive, and she's just back to a bouncing, healthy, growing little 8-year-old.
My wish was a barn, and I wanted it because we had a lot of animals, so we had to keep our pigs in our small garage. That was not fun.
We started discussing this barn, and her eyes just lit up, and she started listing off all the animals that she was going to put in there, and started drawing pictures. This animal's going to go here, and I'm going to put a pen here. And I mean, when Nora's with an animal, it's just her happy zone. She loves them.
I love when I get to spend the whole day with the pigs and the goats. Minnie, Mickey, Hammy, Porky, Stan, Charlie, Rose, Sophia, Dorothy, Blanche.
It's the first place she goes in the morning when she wakes up, and it's the last place she goes at night before she goes to bed. She locks up the animals, checks on them, And then, yeah, throughout the day, she's out there. Any of the donors that donate to Make-A-Wish are truly amazing. These wishes that are granted to children and their families are completely life-changing. And just the specific donors that worked with us on our project were absolutely first class, above and beyond, and cannot thank them enough.
It wouldn't be possible to see the smiles on these kids' face without donors for Make-A-Wish.
10 years today is the anniversary of Sophia's diagnosis. We didn't notice anything right off the bat. She was a tiny little peanut, but seemed perfect. And as the days and weeks went on, she seemed to be getting yellow. And finally, a close family friend randomly said, "Why is she so yellow?" And I didn't have the answer, but that pushed me to make an appointment and dig deeper to find out what was going on. And the first set of labs came back and they were elevated, and it was alarming. So another set of labs was sent off, and the following day we received a phone call that Sophia needed to see a specialist. The doctor walked into the room, very stoic, looked very upset, and said, "Have you ever heard the words biliary atresia?" And the doctor said, "It's a very rare liver disease. 1 in 15,000 children are born with it." Sophia went into the hospital. She gets started with multiple labs, and being 3 months old, it was horrible to witness. They struggled to get blood. We had to hold her down. She was beside herself. She couldn't nurse. She couldn't have a bottle. We knew there was something up. And they brought us up to a hospital room, and they admitted her. And a team of doctors called our entire family into the room and sat us down and said, "You are going to have quite a journey ahead of you. Your daughter is very, very sick, and if she survives this, it's going to be a miracle." We were a mess. We were a puddle, and I looked at Arvid and I said, "We're not going to let those odds stop us. Those odds don't leave this room. You and I will know this, but we are going to fight, and we are going to save our daughter." Eventually, she needed to be listed for a liver transplant. And the very friend who told us very early on that she was yellow happened to be that perfect match. Our baby could live. And exactly a month later, on December 30th, she received her gift of life, a living donor liver transplant from Kayla. She wished for a gazebo in our backyard so that she could feel like she was outside, concrete floors to draw with chalk. Her biggest request was a key, so this was her space, and she felt like she owned it. It ended up complete with windows to protect her, electricity so she can keep her mini fridge plugged in and stay hydrated while she's out there, and it has morphed into her little art studio, which is so cute.
There's a couch and it has pillows, and then I have a cabinet with like all my paint.
We were able to keep this a surprise from the whole family. She wanted this to fully be a surprise and was not going to peek no matter what. So when the reveal party happened, none of us had seen it. And walking out was one of the most amazing moments of my life. Having Make-A-Wish involved has been incredible. Today being our 20-year wedding anniversary and the 10-year anniversary of Sophia's diagnosis, I always dread today. It's happy it's our wedding anniversary, but the trauma of her diagnosis is a lot. And this is the first year the trauma wasn't there. It's just joy and happiness. And that's thanks to Make-A-Wish and watching our little girl just thrive.
Thank you, Make-A-Wish.
First year of having a newborn was filled with many trips down to Milwaukee, a lot of uncertainties, multiple blood draws, pokes, scans. When you are having to hold down a young child to have a blood draw, you pray that it's a good one, because if it's not, then they have to redraw. And when you have little ones, their veins are not like us adults, so they will try to pull from any vein that they can. I remember a time when
They couldn't get a lab draw either from his arm or his foot, and they had to actually go in through his skull. And it broke my mama heart. As new parents, we went from having our baby in our nursery to having him in a NICU bed, hooked up to monitors, wires and tubes coming out of his frail little body. And we didn't know what was going on. We were told he was good. And then he wasn't. Max had post-urethral valves, and due to those valves, the urine, the fluid were being backed up into his kidneys, and he was not getting the fluid out. And so they needed to do an emergency surgery. Too much damage had been done already to his kidneys. And so we were told that he had about 30% functionality of both kidneys, and it would be just a matter of time and that he would possibly need a transplant. I was able to donate my kidney to Max. Transplant is just a way to keep him living and keep him going and giving him as normal as a life as he can with a chronic disease.
For a child to have to go through all those doctor appointments, to get poked so much with all the different blood draws, to a kidney transplant, he never blinked an eye. He was so amazingly strong and brave throughout the entire process.
As far as I can remember, Max has loved Lego. Lego was our go-to, just because it helped to keep him occupied, helped him to not have to worry about the blood draws, the pokes, the scans, the tests, the yucky medicine he had to take. And so when it came to his wish, it was a no-brainer. We had to do something that involved Lego just because it was such a important thing for his journey and for who he was.
Well, Max's wish was to go to Legoland in California and kind of get a behind-the-scenes tour with the master builder, experience with a master builder.
I remember everyone being so kind and generous, and I remember coming on the plane, and when we got the pilot letting me and my brother getting to sit in this pilot seat and look around in there. And then before they take off, they make an announcement saying that we were aboard and everyone cheered. It's a very memorable experience. Doing something with a master builder. I got to make my very own little mini version of me. So we made 2 of them, one to bring home and then one to keep there. So there's gonna be a permanent model of little me and by a little beach. So it was pretty cool.
It was everything that we could have ever asked for. Absolutely amazing experience. The amazing people that made it happen. It's so cool.
When life is overwhelming and full of anxiety and is tough, that wish creates joy. It creates amazing memories that will be forever cherished. And I know I and my family are so, so grateful for those types of opportunities that grantors and volunteers and supporters can make.
I'd like to say thank you very much, because without those people out there, this experience wouldn't have happened for me. I wouldn't have grown as close as I did with my parents and my family. This experience made me feel normal. Because it helps me forget about the doctor's visits and all that. So it was amazing. So, very big thank you.